glance, today's gospel makes it look like Jesus might be in a bad mood. Maybe because he's on the road to Jerusalem and they're going to kill him there. Maybe because he's having trouble figuring out how to motivate people to get serious, to get on board, to do more than walk along the edges, but actually become part of this mission that he's placing in front of them. But maybe not so harshly, because there's a very real dynamic between giver and receiver, between giving and receiving, between gift and the one who accepts the gift. And that dynamic is ultimately relationship. I mean, it's possible that someone could give us something that we wanted so much that we didn't care about the person who gave it to us, and we were just happy to get the gift. I had a friend who's passed now, who was the first in his family to have business and financial success. And for many years, he gave a monthly stipend to several members of his family to kind of help them along, that they accepted, of course. And when he was sick and dying and knew that he needed to reorganize his finances to protect his wife long term, he met with each of them to explain that he couldn't give them this anymore. He was very hurt and disappointed talking to me, because rather than being grateful for all of that he had given them, they were upset that he was taking it away. That this gift had not become relationship. But in our lives, I think most of our gifts are deeply tied to the relationship that backs them up. You'll find in my house on display, rotating or temporary display, depending on the item, many things that I've received from people I deeply love. And I'm almost guarantee, and I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings, but if something you gave me is on display in my house, it's not really because I love the thing you gave me. It's because I love you. There are bottles of bourbon on my bar given to me years ago by the father of a bride who said we should drink this together one day. It's on my bar, right? And probably I could have just easily put it in the lineup of things that I drink. But I keep it because it means something, because of that relationship, because of that dad whose daughter we got successfully married, right? That you would find in my collection an otter looking up the sky. You'd find a bar glass from my dad's bar that I used for coffee in the morning. Not the most convenient coffee cup, but a reminder every morning of my father and our relationship. That I would have maybe even a crocheted cactus on display. Again, not because that's particularly my style of art, but because someone I care about had a friend who's an artist, and this was important and meaningful and a gift. And to see it doesn't just show me cactus art or crochet art, but friendship and love. I say all of this, and I could say much more. If your gift wasn't mentioned, it's still probably around here somewhere. I say this because today's gospel is mostly about the relationship between us and God, the relationship between Jesus and his followers, that God offers us an incredible gift. And that receiving that gift, even when we don't completely understand it, and even when we're not sure we want it, even when we think we'd rather have something else, to receive that gift is to enter into a meaningful relationship with our God. And that's the relationship of salvation The gift is salvation, but it's really the relationship that becomes God's saving grace in our lives. Jesus says to those who haven't been part of this, who haven't received the gift, who haven't responded, he says, I don't know where you are from. That they haven't yet become neighbors or friends or become part of this gift and relationship. I don't necessarily believe, and I don't know everything, but I don't necessarily believe that this is all about the external expression of our relationship with Jesus Christ. It is about our relationship with Jesus Christ, but God is love. And so it might be about our relationship with love. That God is truth, it might be about our relationship with truth. That God is beauty, and that in our interaction with God's incredible gift of beauty, we might in some very meaningful ways be entering into relationship also with God. This, I believe, is less about those who haven't come to a church or a community of believers, a parish, a weekly mass. I believe this is more about those who think that they own their own salvation, that they don't need God's love or God's gifts, that find God's graciousness and imposition on their lives. Those who reject the gift, and in rejecting the gift, in a very hurtful way, reject the giver. Jesus was speaking primarily to the Pharisees and the Sadducees who rejected God's gracious gift of love. And for us, we're invited, I believe, not only to hang on to some of the knickknacks that the people we love have given to us, but mostly to cling to the great gift of love and grace that God gives us in His Son, Jesus Christ.